Hi there folks, this is Infected One, and I have taken upon myself to make a tutorial series for Stalker Gamma, with the hope of making it less overwhelming and more accessible to the Stalker enthusiasts. Each episode is going to be focused on a specific subject because of the sheer amount of detail and information. And now before we start this episode, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel for more awesome content. Welcome everybody to the 10th episode of the Stalker Gamma Noob Guide. We have come a long way in the series, and I hope that all you guys are learning and getting better at the game and just having fun, having the best time you can have. And as long as one person learned something from the guide, I'm happy. I appreciate your comments, your likes, your support. You guys learning and having new experiences with Stalker Gamma is what drives me, and I'm grateful for every single one of you, so thank you and thank you again. So for episode 10 we're gonna do not a specific subject, but just a list of tips that I think could help every single one of you guys, no matter if you're a noob or not a noob. Just a little heads up, the tips are not in a specific order, they're just randomly placed in the way I just recorded them. So I hope it doesn't get you confused. We're gonna jump from tip to tip. Some you might know, some not. Let's go. Tip number 1 is knowing what to mark as favorite and what to mark as junk. Basically items like the hunter's kit, the knife, stuffs that give you passives only, you can always mark as junk. This will basically make them be at the bottom of the inventory, or if you find them anywhere else, they will always be in the bottom. Same goes for stuff like this broken PDA. Who knows how I can't even get rid of it. It's like there for life. I mark as junk. The psi helmet, no use for this. Mark as junk. It's always gonna be at the bottom. It won't be in your eyesight. Quest items like this, mark as junk. Now on the contrary, stuff that you do use all the time, let's say for example I'm used to switching between the pseudo-giant hide and the chimera hide on the same armor, and it's very situational for me. So it's a lot easier for me to just mark both hides as favorite, and now they will appear at the top always, so I can unequip easily and I don't have to think about where the other one is. It is always gonna be at the top, as easy as that. Another cool feature you can do with this is if you find, let's say, a gun or an armor, you can always right click that gun and armor and do favorite parts, and it's gonna favorite all the parts that you choose. You can, or like the ones that are inside, and you will always have them at the top in your workbenches, in your whatever. So for example, we're gonna choose favorite all parts that are missing or under 60, and I'm gonna go to my stash, access the stash, and you're gonna see that all the parts that are needed for this gun are at the top. It's good for when you loot enemies in stashes. You're gonna see that the items that you need are at the top already waiting for you. Also, if you're a guy that have like boxes upon boxes of items, the items you actually need, you won't have to look for them, they will just be at the top. So that's for tip number 1. Tip number 2, make your base not in your starting zones, which are cordon or like the great swamps. You want to make your base at least at the army warehouse, which as you can see is not even the middle of the zone, but it's close enough, and only if you can as well. I do mine in the army warehouses, which is the freedom base, because I'm freedom. When I was playing as a loner, I did the same thing because loners are friendly with freedom. If you're a dutier or a military man, I mean if you're a dutier you can just live in Rostov. It's good enough, and there's a lot of guides that actually will take you to the bar no matter where you are. And if you're the military, I don't know, just live in a shack somewhere in Zaton. This is not Zaton. Live maybe in a boat or somewhere which is remote and secluded, and there's no AI NPCs over there. At the moment I'm even considering moving my base or making another base at the Pripyat outskirts, because you can right click fast travel over there, unlike Pripyat or like the radar and shit like that, or the CNPP where you cannot really right click and move around. So I have easy access to my base and out of my base to any part in the zone. I just don't want you to waste time on making a base in the garbage like I did, because first playthrough I did my base like in this hangar and it was nice, but then I realized that these areas are just not relevant anymore as you progress in the storyline and with your gear, and I just moved my entire enterprise over here and it was kind of tedious, I'm not gonna lie. So you want your stuff to be as close to the barrier as possible, and army warehouses is just the place for that. Tip number 3. Quest givers that ask for guns or artifacts will pay the higher the condition of the item. So for example, I have this Vishlop and my clan leader wants it right now, but it's not the best of conditions. I can give it to him, after saving of course to show you. And you'll see that I only got 3,200. But now that I fixed the Vishlop to be 100%, I'm going to give it to him. And see the amount of money I just got. 61k. The scaling is insane, and I urge you, fix guns, fix artifacts before you give them into the quest giver, because they will pay you so much more money. Tip number 4. You can jump while crouched, and you can also jump while prone, which makes a lot of sense. But in the game like this, which is not a very new game, sometimes getting into places like this might be tricky. And even jumping while crouched won't do the trick, but jumping while prone just might get you where you need to go. And also look at all the companions, they go prone. It's kinda cool. Tip number 5. You can know if you need or do not need a certain part. For example, these are weapon and armor parts that we scavenged from this mercenary. Now if we hover over the light, you can see that it below says I have 21 of these in my workshop stashes. Now it only says this information about crafting parts. For example, the screws or the copper wire. It says 100 in workshop stashes. It counts the items only in the stashes of the workshop itself and not stashes around it or in your base. So the next time you think if you need or don't need an item, just look how many parts of it you have in the stash and then you can decide. Because 25 is a lot. You don't need to have 25 of everything, but I'm hoarding, so like just check the info below before you pick up anything. Do keep in mind that stuff like this, although I have a lot of them, I do need them to craft a certain device, and their condition really don't matter in crafting devices, only in fixing armor. So let's say if you have like 4 of these and you're like, damn, how many armors am I gonna find that need PVC? You need to check if they're used in any other device crafting before and then decide, because devices and plate carriers, as you see below, which are also a device for the belt, they do take a hefty amount of said item. It can be like 5 of the same plate, and it doesn't matter if they're 1% or not. Tip number 6 is basically not that much of a tip, but it's just a suggestion. If you love playing with companions, go ahead, and I'm gonna link it down below, get the mod called Useful Idiots, because without this mod, the companion system in this game is kinda lousy, but with this mod you can press C and you can literally decide formations, you can give orders to a specific one of your companions, you can decide what they shoot, how they even behave themselves, do they sneak, do they prone, do they even toggle their lights on or off, and all of that is very, very helpful. It also fixes some minor bugs that the game has. Sometimes you sprint around your base and friendly stalkers start pointing their guns at you and freaking out. This mod actually fixes this problem, so my suggestion is go ahead and get it and increase your companion cap by a little bit and form your very own squad of chads. Tip number 7. Don't forget that there are medics in this game. Sometimes we get hurt. For example, I got a big boo-boo right now. I can obviously fix it up myself by consuming some items and then do pre-heal, post-heal, and all those things. But if you think about it for a second, fixing what we have right now will definitely cost us a good amount of money, because we have to use at least 2 medkits or like a powerful stim to fix our leg, and then we probably will have to use post-heals twice. Now instead we can always go to a medic if available and just do I need medical assistance, and the price will always be 1,850. It will always be the same price and it heals you completely no matter what your ailments are. And what we just paid to get ourselves fully healed is a lot cheaper than what we would have wasted ourselves to heal these same wounds. Now even if you think that you're just gonna heal your overall health and go to sleep forcibly to heal your limbs, sleeping pills are kinda expensive as well. You buy sleeping pills, they go by 2 uses, each use is more than 2k, so it's still cheaper to just go to the medic and heal yourself if available. Tip number 8. Check your workstations every once in a while to find parts which are under 60 if it's for weapon parts, or anything you have abundance of in armor parts and you don't really need, like we have 22 poly thingies, and we have like 20% ones, 32, 51. We don't need that many, so I'm just gonna tap a bunch of them like this. I'm gonna do the same process for other plates which I don't really need, and like very low quality items like the CFs for example. And just take these stuff to your local mechanic and just sell it. Just like this. You go ahead and you sell all this crap. It's better than throwing it away. You get a decent amount of money. Just keep in mind that he will never take 1% items. You can always right click and donate them just to get them out of your inventory, just like so. Tip number 9. Your batteries will start piling up. Keep them. You can make Gauss rifle ammunition out of them and a lot of different light sources for your hideout, even if they're only 1%. So they're worth your while. They don't really net you much if you sell them at 1%, so just keep them in your workbench. Tip number 10 is be aware of your caps of resistances, and just know that if it's minus 40 over here, it's minus 40 of the total, which is this, and it's like 63. It doesn't tell you. This is not after the minus 40, and you just have to do the quick maths yourself. But we're talking about something else. Let's say my BR resistance for the torso right now is 75 out of 75, which is decent. It's capped right now. But if you look at my belt, you can see that this pseudo-giant hide gives me ballistic resistance, along with other stuff on my belt. But you might notice that this is a waste of a belt slot. And why is that? Because if I unequip it, it didn't change shit. Cannot raise my BR resistance, but it also didn't lower it when I took it off. Meaning this belt slot with the pseudo-giant pelt was just a waste of a slot, and it's better to have something like a Chimera pelt over here. So you just keep that in mind. If you have something that nets you any resistance over here, and you feel that you might have overflow in that specific section, check your belt and optimize accordingly. Tip number 11. Your armor remembers what it has on its belt. If the items are in your inventory and you switch an armor, the items that were previously on that armor are gonna just automatically attach to it. For example, I'm going artifact hunting. Let's say I'm gonna switch to this suit, and it's just gonna apply to it all the items that I had beforehand when I used it to artifact hunt, which means it's equipping the surge suppressor and the Medusa, because I use it. I'm not using it. It's just for example, okay? Don't use this for artifact hunting. And if I switch back, it's equipping all the items I had on the Nossorog back on the belt. Tip number 12. The area of Darkscape actually has drivable vehicles in it. So you just go ahead, get into this tractor, press F. Press F. Okay. You press F, you press 6 to start it. And then with your movement keys, you just drive it. It's fun. Look. Zoom, zoom, zoom. You don't drive through anomalies, it still hurts you. Tip number 13. If your inventory looks like this and you just don't know what's so heavy, like I have so much shit and I don't know what's the heaviest, you can always cycle through the categories and you'll have the exact weight of the category. So you'll know where to focus your throwing awayness. Let's call it like that. So as you see, it doesn't look like a lot when I scroll down the inventory, but going to the upgrades, it's actually 21 kilo out of my whole weight. So this is just a cool feature to know. As you can see, 54 only in shit for crafting. It's crazy. But mind this number when you're thinking what to throw away. The next tip I can give you is about plastic film. Now, plastic film is one of the most important resources in my opinion, because you need it to craft so many important medicines that we all use no matter what level we are and no matter where are we in the story. Each medkit and each stim pack needs plastic film. So where do we get plastic film from? Usually it's from using medicine. Some medicine drop it, some do not. But still, this is a very tedious method to get plastic film. Now my suggestion to you is just hoard or buy some filled poultry and metallic scrap and craft fill cooking kits. Press craft, just like that, you get 8 plastic films. Why is that? Because when you disassemble whatever filled cooking kit, you get fasteners, plastic film. Easy. disassemble plastic film. And just like that, you can create plastic film out of salvaged metal and field poultry. Easy as that. Tip number 16 might help you find some annoying stashes where you don't know where to start looking. You're on the marker. For example, right now I'm on the marker and where is it? Well, obviously here it's up. But some of the stashes are not that obvious. So what you can do is open your map, right click the stash, set a waypoint, and now you go to your minimap and you can see there's an arrow up indicating that the stash is above you. Exactly like you would with a quest. So this helps me a lot when there's an annoying stash that I just cannot find. I don't know if it's below me, above me. Sometimes there's so many levels to a complicated building, and this really helps me out. Tip number 17, not everybody knows that, but you can actually hold F to look at your surroundings to see if there's any lootable items around you. It's gonna highlight their name just like so. It only works in proximity though, because if I go here, you only see this, but the more I come closer, you can see more. Tip number 18, even without having your knife equipped in the knife slot, you can always use it by pressing middle mouse button, just like so. You can do it for boxes, you can do it for slicing or last hitting an enemy. It works very good. You can also spam it, it's pretty fast. Tip number 19, ever gotten an annoying RF package in a very far away location where you're not planning to go there like ever, like Agroprom for example, at the end game? You can always hover over your PDA, right click and cancel RF package. This will give you an additional one, it will cancel the Agroprom run and will give you one in Cordon because fuck you. You can do it again, just like leave me alone bro, I'm not going to Cordon ever. And until you get the relevant zone for you, you know, works pretty well. There is a slight delay between RF package and RF package, but here we just waited like a few seconds and we got one in Agroprom again. What I'm saying is just you can cycle through until you get the zone you want. Just canceling, remember canceling is not through the RF receiver, but through the PDA, just like so. And now for tip number 20, which is probably the most important tip, and it's not even a tip, it's a crucial reminder. Now Stalker Gamma is a crazy mod pack for Anomaly. It's in no way stable, it is no way in full release yet, and it does crash. It's an issue. Sometimes it's crashing randomly, sometimes it does it on transition. Sometimes on the transition, it doesn't save. It sucks. What I want to tell you is, guys, if you can save, and there are fireplaces everywhere, just have some matches on you, save your game as often as you can. Trust me, it's gonna save you a lot of headache, a lot of frustration. If you think, should I or should I not save? Just save. It's that simple. Press F5, quick save, and that's it. Just go about your business. Please do not forget to save your game. And that's about it for today's episode number 10. 20 tips just for you. Let me know what you want on the next episodes. Anything else you want me to go through? And as always, thank you everybody. I've been Infected One, and I'll see you on the next episode. And have a great whatever time you're having. Peace.